Thank you guys for joining me for another video. We're going to get into the message after we do prayer, of course. Stay hydrated. This is one of those days where you're definitely going to understand the importance of staying hydrated, okay? Now let's get into prayer first and foremost. We got to give recognition, praise, and honor to the divine creator of all creations. Thank you, Most High, love and light, divine creator of all creations. Thank you for this moment for us to be together. I ask to deliver clear, concise, effective, emotional manipulation free messages. I ask to always remain a humble servant of you. I ask to always be a vessel of you. I ask if there's any ego in this message from me, please expose it to me and also the viewers. I ask to remain a humble practitioner of tarot, and thank you for tarot. All right, you guys. So today's cards we're using the hidden. This is to expose secret societies, and we're also using Old Maid. If you guys want to sit back and watch, please watch. But we're gonna get straight into the message. The first message. Let's find out. Mrs. Cheese, Milkmaid, Mr. Bash, and 7 boxes. Someone someone has been abusing the mother of their child, and it's kind of like what I'm picking up here is the one who has been abusing the mother of their child. The abuse has gotten so bad to the point that that the mother of their child is like either a doormat, not only to them, but to whoever likes to prey on abused people. So someone has abused the mother of their child to the point that the mother of their child is a freaking doormat. And this right here is not providing safety for the child as well. Okay, so we're going to get into it. This means here, if the child is seeing their mother be a doormat, then what kind of patterns do you think this is going to form throughout their childhood? Also, let's talk about it. Also, I feel like the person who is abusing the mother of their child, they're going through a heavy spiritual warfare, but at the same time, take what resonates. This could be a karmic couple in which the mother was spoiled in the beginning, and now she's realizing exactly how abusive someone can be. Um, the abuse also could have intensified while she was pregnant, and then it could have just gotten worse afterwards. And also take what resonates. This could be someone who is healing from being a pick me bitch. I'm keeping it honest. I've been a pick me bitch, okay? You get treated like shit. And now they're finally starting to have clarity of the fact of what they have been allowing is not healthy for them, but the abusive partner could be heavily utilizing aspects about them, about their insecurities and their shame and guilt, in order to basically brain and mind fuck them so that they won't leave the relationship. All right, let's get some details. We have 3 of hearts and 5 of diamonds. They could also have trouble finding jobs, so they could be hanging around their friends as well. We're talking about the abusers. The abusers could have trouble locating work or even keeping work, so they could be hanging around their friends often. And their friends also could be broke as well. The next one, we got Queen of Diamonds and Jack of Diamonds here. Their partners could be financially draining their partners. They also could have turned extremely abusive after their partners lost finances. Okay, as long as the finances were there, the abuse was non-existent. But the abuse could have gotten worse when the mothers of their children, when the finances got low. At the same time, some of you women, if this take what resonates, if you guys are trying to basically save money at this point with the Jack of Diamonds, even if you guys are in the Queen of Diamonds energy in this moment, you guys might be understanding that if you guys are in an abusive relationship, an abuser's going to do what an abuser's going to do. And if you make more money than them, they're still going to sit there and abuse you guys due to feeling like financial failures. So some of you guys also, you guys, if you check your credit score, you might notice that there's been some shisty things that have taken place. So some of your guys, take what resonates. Some of you guys could have fathers of your children who are extremely envious and jealous of your financial potential. And if they're abusing you guys need to basically start protecting your children, because if your children have the capability to make as much money as you know they're capable of, you can understand that not only can they attract people like their father who are abusive, they'll attract the father might be an issue as well. We have King of Diamonds here. So we got Three of Hearts, Queen of Diamonds, and King of Diamonds. So we talking about well-moneyed people. We also have Seven of Diamonds, and we have Jack of Clubs. So some of you guys could be being asked to basically fake the funk as if you guys still have the finances, because an abusive partner is literally taking their angst and aggression out on you guys, because they could owe a lot of money to some people with the Seven of Spades and the Jack of Clubs. They could owe money to very immature people who basically likes to take advantage of their blind spots. So some of you guys may find out that you have been paying more money than you're supposed to on a loan. Some of you guys could have been taken advantage of if you guys didn't exactly read the fine print in a contract. Some of you guys could have basically had so much interest tacked onto whatever it was you guys were investing into, as like if you were trying to pay things off, and it could be because you could have had some people who basically saw that you guys weren't paying attention to the fine print. It's kind of like some of you guys are gonna find out if you guys are like new money or in new money, you guys got preyed upon, PREYED, by people who have old money mentality. And this is another reason why some mothers could have gotten abused when the reality of being able to be financially stable came into play to take care of a child. Let's cleanse the energy. The next one, Mrs. Bash. The next one is Lord Toft. So let's talk about it. Some of these women who used to be very sweet and we're going to be honest, some mothers who got abused to the point where it's kind of like they became doormats. It's like some of you guys are being told to properly heal, because you guys can become like the very same abusers that you guys are walking away from. Okay, with Lord Toft here in Aristocrat, and there's some women who also have become like the very same abusers that they have had to protect themselves from and that they've walked away from. And they could have done it subconsciously because they would want to overpower that abuser, but that abuser is basically pointing them to what healing needs to take place. And a lot of the healing needs to take place in the psyches, because if you've been in a situation like this, if you've had someone abuse you, if they were physically, if the domestic abuse was accompanied with psychological abuse and torture, you have to understand your health may experience declining, as well as if there was a lot of psychological abuse, you might be very easily triggered and have PTSD or CPTSD. So that's where some of you guys are being asked to heal, because you guys can become like the very same abusers that you had to deal with. Okay? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm speaking from a place of experience. If I had not healed the domestic abuse and the psychological torture that I experienced with my oldest daughter's father, when I tell you, I wouldn't be putting out videos, you guys. I'd be on some whole other toxic shit, okay? So I guess what I'm saying this is the pain from domestic abuse and psychological abuse or psychological torture is not easy to heal, especially if CPTSD or PTSD has been developed over a long period of time, especially if you guys come from abusive families. And I feel like some of you guys need to not only take what resonates, or you guys might be aware of a child that if they have been subjected to their parents normalizing abuse in the house, then it's basically generations of abuse repeating itself. Come on now. We got to do better. So this is where, if you guys know you're doing the right thing, keep doing the right thing. Because the people that know they're not doing the right thing, they're trying to find answers from you guys. But what they need to understand is the answers don't come from you. The answers come from with them, and they need to reconnect to the Most High independently. So you may have some people who are getting out of abusive relationships, and they may be very bullious to people, but at the same time, they need to understand that there's some deep healing that needs to take place to completely stop this cycle of abuse. Now we have Jack of Spades and Eight of Spades here. Remember I told you guys about and we got the 10 of spades here as well, and underneath we got the 2 of hearts, all right, and underneath we got the 6 of diamonds, and underneath we got the 7 of spades. Let's talk about it. Some of you guys are going to find out that here's how it was easy for NPD individuals, narcissistic personality disorder individuals, to prey on you guys. They saw that you guys were easy to fool, and they also basically abused you guys as how much you would give them. If you overgave in an imbalanced manner, then this is where, you were basically considered for a relationship. But if you didn't have the, and especially if you sexually, if you gave to them after sexual activity, if they asked for an outrageous amount of something and you gave it to them, they would consider you relationship status, all right? But this is where over time, you guys will be afraid of basically running out of supplies and resources, because you could have sinking suspicions that this person was probably going to someone else. Some of you guys could have developed extreme anxiety due to feeling insecure about either being cheated on from your person, but there could have been so much love bombing with the two of hearts, and I was about to say the 2 of diamonds. Basically, you guys were love bombed when you gave them, but you guys were treated like shit when you didn't have. Some of you guys could have been intimate with people, and some of you guys could still have soul ties with people who had a lot of anxiety. They had dreams of being respected in the public eye, but at the same time, they won. They won things and achieved certain levels of success based off their amount of intelligence. At the same time, all that drive to succeed, it was hidden by this Jack of Spades here, supported by the 10 of Spades, in order to numb extreme heavy anxiety. And this is why we have the 8 of Spades here. They could have basically made a habit of trying to numb the anxiety and suppressed it to the point where it's kind of like, they could have specifically preyed, PREYED, on individuals who basically did not have boundaries, who neglected self-care, and who were willing to overgive. And this is how this shit was able to keep going. Now we got the Jack of Clubs and we got the 8 of Clubs here. Some of you guys could have had binding spell work done on you guys as well, to the point that some of you guys, however much trauma you experienced in childhood, if basically not healing the trauma from childhood allowed the binding magic to stick. So let's say somebody did some extreme binding magic on you guys, and you guys could have stayed in abusive ass relationships for quite a long time. It was the binding magic was held in place based off how much unhealed childhood trauma you guys had. Also, some of you guys could have been psychically attacked whenever these people would or you guys could have been psychically attacked, psychically abused, if you guys went no contact with these people based off of the mental imbalances that they had. So whatever recognition or association they had with something, if it did not go, if you did something that went against it, they could have psychically attacked you guys, and they could have done this specifically in order to avoid the type of abuse they are capable of being exposed. Now, let's get one more message for you guys. We got the King of Diamonds, and we got the Queen of Diamonds, and we got the Two of Diamonds. No, King of Diamonds, Queen of Diamonds, and we got the Two of Spades and the Seven of Spades. All right. Let's talk about it. So we got basically a couple here. We got a couple. They're a wealthy couple, King of Diamonds, Queen of Diamonds. And the Queen of Diamonds could have been, there could have been someone who could have definitely benefited off of somebody causing harm to other people. They possibly were protected from the abuse of someone due to the amount of money that they could bring in. At the same time, with the Seven of Spades and the Two of Spades, they were kept in a constant state of confusion. So they could definitely have been motivated to work to keep their financial status in order to be considered as the main romantic partner of someone who could have been quite abusive to other partners, especially if affairs took place. Okay, now there's a feminine energy here who is aware of the amount of conflict, chaos, and confusion that an abusive partner has put out, okay? And they could have also glorified it as well because they were able to live quite comfy with it as well. At the same time, with the Two of Spades here, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk. Let's talk. All right. There's a feminine energy here who is trying to figure out how to basically play blind, deaf, and dumb as to what the masculine who is very abusive has been doing behind the scenes, but they were able to live quite comfy off of it for quite a long time. So much to the point that logically, if they try to play blind, deaf, and dumb, it's just simply going to look as if they're hiding evidence of something. So some of these people, because they're leaving out information, if they don't know their, what's it called? If they don't know their legal rights, the legal system may try to take advantage of them and in order to get information out of them. Let's get one more card. We got Queen of Hearts and we got the Hidden card here. So this is saying that you may have some women who have not exactly healed from abuse. They may try to avoid consequences of playing blind, deaf, and dumb by basically emulating empathic women, if this is a females who have been abused, because the type of abuse they were subjected to, they were taught that it was not safe for them to think on their own. Their partners could have tried to dominate the way they thought, and one of those things had to do with suppressing their emotions. So they could be very afraid of actually expressing their emotions because their partner could have used their lack of emotional intelligence against them. All right, you guys, let's get the last message. I love spilling the tea. Lord Toft and Mrs. Chop. So, what I'm picking up here, because I saw Mr. Bash, then we have Mrs. Bash, and now we have Lord Toft. There are some women who have been abused who can think their abusers are more important than their abusers actually are. But the amount of psychological abuse that they experience, the abuser wanted to create an idea that they were better off than they were. This is how they were able to secure people who were unaware of how they maneuver. And with Mrs. Chop and the Shepherd and 3 here, child, we getting this tea and we spilling it. In order to hide their role. And in order for the abusers to hide their roles, they could have specifically connected to very healthy people who can get along quite easily with just about anybody. They could have gotten connected to organizations in which they were promoting um, supporting the oppressed people with Shepherd here. And they could have been putting out their agendas the whole time. So basically, yo, what the fuck is coming up in these readings? We got the Queen of Spades and the Ten of Hearts. Some of you guys are going to understand that if someone calls you guys a bitch for speaking the truth, it's only because they can't take advantage of you guys. Some of you guys are going to start to understand a lot more people love you than you can imagine because there's safety. With the Queen of Spades, there will always be safety. With the Queen of Spades, you don't have to worry about deception, trickery, all kinds of deceit occurring because there's not going to be an opening for any betrayal to occur. So some of you guys are going to understand if you have been firm and faithful in your boundaries, you have a lot more love than you can imagine. It's the people that you guys are calling out. They're trying to negatively narrate your character, things of that nature, but it's simply not sticking because they're just showing up as people trying to take advantage of you guys. So some of you guys can have people trying to get connected to you guys for personal gain, but it's because they want to get access to your resources of people that you know. They basically want to if you guys are working with people who are naive or people who are still their brains are still forming and developing, they like to get access to you guys so they can put their agenda out so you can teach it to them. So this is how selfish these people are. We also have the 10 of Spades here. We got the 2 of Hearts and we got the 7 of Diamonds here. Some of you guys are going to understand that some people have been choosing to invest into romantic connections when they have not yet healed any traumas that resulted from past connections. And this is where some of you guys are going to start to understand that if they react like if they treat you like how they treated a past partner, some of you guys are going to understand that you don't invest into what they're doing. If they're trying to some you guys could be dealing with people who have who don't handle rejection well. This can have something to do with abandonment issues. They can have unhealed abandonment issues. And when it comes to romantic connections, they can try to trauma bond to their partners by basically creating the same same traumas that they experience. So it can seem as if the relationship actually has a chance. Y'all, what the fuck is going on, y'all? Let's get one more message, and then we're gonna get a message from a homemade cards. We got the 9 of Spades and we got the Queen of Clubs here. Some of you guys are going to find out that some people strategically, how people have strategically been using fear tactics against you guys in order to cause you guys anxiety. But what's going to be even funnier when you find out the way that they have been trying to cause you guys anxiety is how their anxiety was formed. So some of you guys could have people who are basically trying to come around you guys who are anxiety ridden, but all they'll do is amp stuff out of proportion. And it's kind of like you guys are being asked to just stay calm, mind your own business, and stay to yourselves. Because what these people are capable, it's like these people, it's kind of like however trapped that they feel, they'll try to subject that onto you guys. Let's get, ooh, child. Let's get one more message. We got Jack of Clubs and King of Diamonds. So let's get the next two supporting cards for this one. We gonna close this shit out. We got Mrs. Cook, the chef. We got Mr. Jolly, the fool. So if any of you guys are dealing with difficult, wealthy men who have very difficult decisions to make, especially when it comes to large finances with the 10 of diamonds and the 2 of spades, don't be afraid of them, especially if they've been using extreme fear intimidation tactics. I'll tell you guys why. Because if they've been pissing their wives off, their wives could have been basically doing spell work on them in the food. Real shit. If you guys have been getting bullied by financially stable tyrants, well, you can only imagine if they married what the people who live with them, who've had to basically save face every day and suppress shit. One of the ways of healing and dealing is that they've been doing spell work on the people and putting it in their foods. Child. So, while it may be difficult for you guys to deal with them, can only imagine how the people who actually have to live with them long term been dealing with their asses. You also could be dealing with people that they got used to somebody always saying yes to them, that, you know, they could have gotten older. And when they realized that if they didn't get their way and if they had a hissy fit like when they was children, they could have realized that there would be criminal charges, especially if they was big, tall adults, or they couldn't hide from shit anymore. So y'all gonna find out that some of these people develop interesting ways to avoid getting caught up in the legal system. Interesting, right? So yeah, have you guys been having to deal with financially wealthy tyrants? If they're married, their wives have had enough of their shit and is doing hoodoo, voodoo, Santeria, whatever they need to do to get rid of their asses and putting it in the food.